The toughest game mode in FIFA 23 is the Ultimate Team game mode, and in today's video I'm going to be attempting to survive 24 hours in this game mode. Now in order for survival to be deemed as a success, we need to take our starter team from its current value all the way up to a value of 250,000 coins within the 24 hours. So we're going to be using this preview pack as our way of starting off our timer, because you get this pack once every 24 hours and obviously we're going to get trash. And now that our timer has begun, it's time for us to discuss the 3 rules that we're going to have to be following throughout this challenge. The first rule is that we have to start a brand new account, which we're currently doing. The second rule is that we're not allowed to spend any FIFA points on this account. Now we don't even have the capacities to do this, I wonder why, so we're definitely not going to be doing it. And then the final rule is that we have to complete the punishment from the Wheel of Death as soon as we get them. Now, I'll be going into more detail on the Wheel of Death later on, but for now, let's add some values to this team. Now at the time of recording, the Future Stars promo was currently running, and this meant that I was given 1 Future Stars token, which will be redeemable later on tonight, and it also meant that we could pick up this Alvarez card on a 7-game loan, and that's going to be massive for our first few games of Rivals. You'll also be rewarded with some welcome packs when you start your Ultimate Team, and I was lucky enough to get Mbappe along with some other good cards in my loans, and we also picked up an 84 rated Carval, and we're going to have him for the entire video because this one's not a loan. So this is how our team's looking right now, and this is before even going into one game of FIFA, and the value of the team will be on the screen. Now the first thing I usually do on a new account is complete the foundation SPCs, because you're not allowed to complete any other SPC until these are complete. So I started going through the foundation SPCs, but then I hit a roadblock after completing 2 out of the 4 foundation SPCs. And the reason for this was because I had no coins to buy the players that I needed to complete this SPC, which meant that we had to go into a game, and this marks the beginning of our Division Rivals journey. I feel so guilty for using this Mbappe card against this Division 10 player, but we do only have him for 7 games, so we need to make sure that we get the most out of him. And we definitely got the most out of these loan cards in this game, because they allowed us to score 5 goals, which caused our opponent to rage quit. So after completing the game, we now have 14 objectives to claim, and we also have 578 coins, and this should be enough to complete that foundation SPC. Out of these 14 objectives, the only reward of value was the coin booster, and everything else was literally trash. But I made sure to claim all of them, and then I completed the foundation SPCs, and this meant that all the other SPCs were now unlocked. Now there are some nice player SPCs which I'd like to complete and add into my team, but before we do that we have to get some more packs so that we can get some more players to use in these SPCs. Now there were also a few Future Stars challenges, and all of these reward you with the Future Stars swap token, and I think it's finally time for us to discuss the rewards that you can get from the Future Stars swaps. Now in total, the maximum amount of these swaps tokens that we'd actually be able to achieve on this brand new account is probably about 9. But for 9 tokens, the best thing that you can get is Zola's base icon card, and he has a value of 120,000 coins, so if we were to claim that option, we'd instantly improve the value of our team by 120,000 coins. Now I feel like that's a more boring way to go about it, which is why I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Future Stars Team 1 player pack, and also the 81 plus times 11. Now we'll only be able to claim these rewards later on tonight, and that's only if we get the swap tokens, and in order to complete the swap token SPCs, we need to get ourselves some coins, which means it's time for us to take the next step for this account. Now before we take our next step, you can see on our timer that we only have 20 hours left, and what this means is that 4 hours have gone by. And remember the Wheel of Death that we discussed earlier on in the video? This is where that is going to come into play. For the entire duration of the 24 hours, every 4 hours we're gonna have to spin this wheel, and there are a bunch of punishments on this wheel that we'll have to complete. And remember, these punishments need to be completed as soon as we get them. So what this means is that if we land on, for example, lose 10,000 coins, we'd have to somehow lose 10,000 coins worth of value on our account. But since our account has basically just started, we obviously don't even have 10,000 coins, so if we land on something like this, and we're unable to complete the punishment, it literally means that we fail the entire challenge. So I guess it's time for us to allow this wheel to decide our fate, and there's no way we get the free pass, and this means we'll have to fight another 4 hours. Now after playing our 1 game of Division Rivals, we actually earned ourselves a draft token pack, and usually on a brand new account I'd never ever focus on the draft game mode, but there were some limited time challenges running, and the rewards that these gave you were quite decent if you were capable of making it far in the draft, so I thought we might as well give it a shot. So I built a sick draft team, and they breezed through our first opponent. But then the next game was a lot tougher, but after scoring 3 goals in that game, we made our opponent forfeit. Now the draft reward that I was most excited for was the 80 plus times 5 pack. But if we can win this 3rd game, we get 2 instead of only 1 of these packs. And this game started in the best way possible when we won the ball back, deep in our opponent's box. This Ronaldinho card is so good, can he score from there? Oh, of course he can. And it seemed like Gavi was always in the perfect position to score a goal. And then off of a corner, Lucio made it 4. But then our opponent scored 2 goals against us, but it was too little too late. The game ended 4-2, and we were on to the finals. And the finals started in the worst way possible. But after conceding that goal, I continued to grind my way throughout the rest of this half. And we entered the first half 2-1 up. But early on into the second half, our opponent equalized. But I didn't allow that to have a knock on my confidence, and I proceeded to score 3 more goals in a row. And this is the score that the game ended at. So after winning the draft, our rewards are going to be decent, I guess. Now before I open these packs, I'm going to go ahead and claim all of the limited time draft objectives, and then we'll open all of them up together. Now I actually didn't realize this, but you are also rewarded with players for participating within the draft. And since these players were special cards, each of them had a minimum value of about 10,000 coins. So all of our packs until this point were quite bad, but it was at this point where things changed. Oh, we're going to get our first walkout. Is that going to be Toni Kroos? It is Toni Kroos. Now because he's 88 rated, he has a base value of about 33,000 coins, and he's going to be massive in improving our team. And then it was time for us to open one of the 80 plus times 5 packs, and the first pack gave us an 88 rated card, and behind him was an 86 rated card. And although these cards aren't tradable, they can be used in our team and they're going to add a lot of value. The next pack wasn't as good, but it wasn't bad either. He's most likely not going to make it into our team, but we can use him in a player SBC later on, and in turn, that SBC will add value to our team. So after those draft rewards, this is what the team is looking like. And only the players in our starting 11 add towards the team's value, and obviously loan players do not count. Now we also have Toni Kroos on the transfer list who ended up selling, and we now have 36,000 coins on the account as well, and we can purchase players with these coins to add them into the team, and that will increase the overall team value. But for now, since we have those loan cards in the team, I'm gonna hold off from spending any coins. Now we still have quite a bit of time before our next Wheel of Death spin, but because some of the punishments on the wheel are extremely detrimental, it's time for us to take our next step to help this account progress, and I know exactly where we're going to do that. If you have a look at the draft challenges, you can see that if we win one more draft, we get an 81 plus times 11 pack. We also get this Winter Wildcards Verde, who has about a 20,000 coin value, and I'm willing to bet 15,000 coins that I can win the first round of a draft. So I'm gonna enter into another one. So we won this draft as well, and this time it looks like the rewards aren't going to be as good. But remember, the reason we did this was for that 81 times 11 pack, as well as Winter Wildcards Verde. Now the first pack that we had was quite bad, but in the second pack, we backed a Dutch centre back from Bayern Munich, and I wish he was from Liverpool. But this was quite good because I believe he had a value of about 11,000 coins. And now it was time for us to open up our 81 plus times 11 pack. So this is it, this is the big one, the 81 plus times 11 pack. We're not getting the walkout animation, but it can still be a walkout. Never mind, it's not a walkout. We get an 84 rated as our highest card in the 81 times 11. And to rub even more salt in the wounds, it was time for our second spin of the Wheel of Death. Now at this point, there isn't really an option which the wheel could land on, which doesn't really harm our account. And we're gonna have to lose 25,000 coins, and that's literally 10% of the entire challenge. So I'm gonna purchase Muller, and then we'll discard him, and I get 5,000 coins back. So I'll purchase Werner as well. We'll purchase this one for 5,000 coins. Hopefully I don't get this account banned by doing this, but that punishment is now complete. So for the next 4 hours, I decided to grind division rivals as much as I could, and having that Mbappe and Alvarez on loan made winning games in these lower divisions so effortless. And in no time, we made it through Division 9, and we were now 1 game away from getting promoted into Division 8. Oh wow, so this is the team we're gonna have to beat to get promoted to Division 8. And with a team like that, how is this guy only in Division 9? And early on, this question was answered, because just because you have a good team doesn't mean you're necessarily good at the game. And no offense to that guy if he's watching. And then shortly after the first goal, Mbappe scored the goal of his life, and it started to smell like promotion. And then we scored a third and a fourth goal, and this wasn't enough to make our opponent forfeit. However, we didn't stop there, we scored a fifth goal, and this was enough. So we need one more rival win to guarantee ourselves rewards for this week, and our record right now is 15-0, but this might change really soon because we've run out of loan games on the 3 best players in our team. Let's take a look at Mbappe's record. You can see he scored 18 goals in only 7 games. Alvarez was more fun to use though, however he only scored 7 goals in his 7 games. But now it's time for us to find replacements for these cards. Now I had a plan to do this because while we were playing those games and completing objectives, I was saving all of the packs to open once we lose these cards. Now as always, I'll show you guys the best ones, but even though this wasn't necessarily the best pack you could ever open, Marcus Rashford was sitting at the back of it, and we can definitely use him in our team. Now these 2 are the best packs that we currently have left, and I have really high hopes for both of them. So let's open this first one. It's going to be a walkout. The animation went to the left. Italian striker, it's going to be Immobile. Now I might not use him in my team because honestly Rashford's better than him. Oh wait, Kimpembe in the back as well. He's definitely going into my team. but Immobile can be used as fodder for player SBCs. So from our 84 plus pack, we're literally gonna get an 84 rated card, but it's okay, it is what it is. At this point I noticed that the Future Stars tokens were now redeemable, and at this point I gathered up 4 Future Stars tokens. Now I could either open the Future Stars Team 1 pack, or redeem our tokens for an 81 times 11. And I opted to go with the 81 times 11. Now the reason for this was because we only had 48 minutes until our next Wheel of Death spin. And what this means is that if we don't pack a card from the Team 1 player pack that shoots the value of our team to 250,000 plus, we have a chance of losing the player that we pack through one of the punishments from the Wheel of Death. So we're going with the 81 times 11 pack. It just makes more sense for us right now. Also, we have a few gaps in the team, and I feel like this pack will help us fill those gaps up more efficiently. So it's time for us to open this pack, and can we get a walkout from the pack this time? Remember the last time we only got an 84? It's going to be a walkout this time. Paladin, is that a centre mid? No, it's a striker. Okay, Lukaku's not bad. Again, he can be used as fodder, but there's nothing else behind him that's actually good and usable on our team. And since we still have time before we have to do our next spin, I'm going to revamp our team, and we'll go into some more Division Rivals games. It was at this point when I decided to use some of the coins that we had on the account. And the first acquisition that I got was Ousmane Dembele, and he was going to play at the right mid position. And now we just had 2 positions to fill. Now for ability and chemistry purposes, the next player that I signed was Vinicius Jr. And he's 22,000 coins, so he's not the most valuable player on our team. Keylor Navas is, but he's still going to be extremely good and is going to help us out a lot in our Division Rivals games. After this, I couldn't think of a player to put at the striker position, but I remembered that we packed Rashford, so I ended up putting him at the striker position. And now we're more or less halfway towards completing our goal of having a team with a value of 250,000 coins. And I'm gonna go grind Division Rivals a bit more, and then I'll see you guys when it's time for us to do our next spin. So we've now gotten our 8 wins and we're guaranteed rewards for Rivals this week. But unfortunately it's time for us to spin the Wheel of Death once again. So let's spin this thing and let's just see what it's gonna do to us. And we're gonna have to use our MVP in an SBC. Now this isn't necessarily the worst thing that it could have landed on, because it allows us to convert the value of our most valuable player into an SPC, which could in turn add some more value into our team. And when looking at our team, Vinicius is the most expensive tradable card that we have at 22,000 coins, but Keylor Navas, who's about 33,000 coins, is our MVP. Now when looking through these SPCs, there were quite a few that we could attempt, but Theo Walcott was the one who I had my heart set on. But unfortunately, with all the fodder that we've racked up on this account thus far, we still didn't even have enough to complete the squad for his SPC. Now what I noticed was that when I add Oblak's concept card into the team, all of a sudden the rating went high enough and we could actually complete this SPC with the squad. But obviously we've got to purchase Oblak's card before we can submit the squad. And remember the third rule for this video, we have to complete the punishments as soon as we get them. And this means that we can't go in a game, we're not allowed to open any packs, and we're also not allowed to complete any other SPCs until we've completed the punishment. So I remember that we had some tradable cards in our team, namely Vinicius and Ferland Mendy. So I ended up selling these cards, and this allowed us to get up to 40,000 coins. Now Oblak's card was 42,000 coins, so I could either snipe his card for 40k or quick sell a few players to get the last couple of thousand coins that we needed, and now we could complete the squad. So we pretty much took everything off of our account, and we can now submit the squad. Yes, I'm sure I want to submit the squad. This one's going to hurt, but that's one squad complete. I then went ahead and added some cards into the second squad for Theo Walcott, and now his SPC was complete. Now his SPC was valued at around 170 to 180k at the time of recording, and this means that we just need to fill the team with 70,000 coins worth of players. Now my plan to do this was to open the Future Stars Team 1 pack, but we needed to complete an SPC to get the token to complete this pack. And unfortunately after purchasing Oblak, we literally had no coins left, but I guess it gives us a perfect excuse to try Theo Walcott out, because we can go into Division Rivals, play some games, and then earn coins at the same time, and then with these coins we can complete the last SBC. Is Theo Walcott with the 99 pace on the debut? Can we score a goal here? He's bringing his goalkeeper out, but I think I can get past. And that's a debut goal for Theo Walcott. The next 2 goals were scored by players other than Theo Walcott, so we don't care about these goals. However, the 4th goal and the goal that caused our opponent to forfeit was once again scored by Theo Walcott. At this point I was having so much fun using this card because we just kept on going into games and we just kept on winning, and this allowed us to move higher up in the divisions. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. We now had enough coins to get the final token. So before we get that final token, let's reflect on Theo's record. In 8 games, he scored 18 goals, which is almost as good as Team of the Year Mbappe, who scored 18 goals in only 7 games. I then went ahead and completed the final Future Stars Swaps SBC, and now it's time for us to open the Future Stars Team 1 pack. So it's now officially time for us to open the Team 1 Future Stars pack, and these are all of the players that we can get in this pack. Now a lot of these players have a really high value, and pulling one of these cards will shoot our team's value to over 250,000 coins, and this will allow us to complete the challenge. So before we open this pack, and since this could be the end of this challenge, let's reflect on everything that we've done so far to get to this point. In only 12 hours, we completed an SPC worth 180,000 coins. We also made it all the way up to almost Division 6. We've won 2 drafts, and in total we've played 25 games, and out of those 25 games, we've literally won all of them. So let's go ahead and open this pack. Now we want the pack animation to go to the left, because what that means is that you're going to get a higher rated card. Our packing is going to the left. Creation, is that Guardiol? It is Guardiol! He has a value of over 300,000 coins, and that means we've smashed this challenge. So this is our team, and when adding up the value of the entire starting 11, obviously excluding the loan card, this team's worth over 500,000 coins. Now the title of this video says surviving 24 hours. And that's exactly what I did. After packing Guardiol, I continued to push further in division rivals, and yes, I still remained undefeated, and I even completed this 85 plus player pick, which gave me flashbacks to the beginning of the video when we first packed Barella, which is why I chose him. Now if you guys enjoyed this video, you're going to enjoy me putting the worst player in FIFA up against Mbappe in a series of tests, so go ahead and click on that video to watch it.